I'm Jane Applegath. Welcome to the Epic Vision Zone, where bold ideas meet extraordinary leaders. What if the only thing standing between you and your next level of success wasn't your strategy, but your subconscious? And what if aligning your energy could be the key to unlocking your wealth, purpose, and freedom? CHLOÉ GOLD is an elite business and lifestyle coach, an EFT, NLP, and Chakra Mastery Practitioner who helps women rewrite their energetic blueprint, turning their big dreams into epic success. With over 13 years of experience, CHLOÉ blends powerful mindset coaching with emotional and energetic healing. She uses these tools to help women dissolve self-doubt, remove subconscious blocks, and embody the confident, abundant version of themselves they were born to be. From working moms to seven-figure founders, her clients experience profound shifts through signature programs, including Self-Mastery to Success, Sassy Startups, and Money Mindset Mastery. Prior to her work as a leading transformational coach, CHLOÉ spent years interviewing world-class entrepreneurs and thought leaders, including Robert Kiyosaki, Deborah Minder, and James Caan, uncovering the patterns of true success she now weaves into her work. Through her own rebirth, CHLOÉ learned that the greatest transformation begins from within. And today she's here to show us that when you heal the inner world, the outer world expands beyond imagination. Welcome, CHLOÉ. Thank you for joining us here from London today.
Thank you, Jane. I'm delighted to be here with you. Excited to dive in.
Yes, likewise. We were chatting just briefly before we got started here, and CHLOÉ and I have so much in common. I said if we were around the corner from each other, we'd be big trouble. We would just go off on tangents.
Sure.
But anyway, tell us what inspired you, CHLOÉ, to become a coach, and what drew you specifically to work with female founders at crossroads in their lives and businesses.
Well, it started when I hit a crossroads at with myself in my career. I was working as a journalist. Up until then, I had built a really successful career interviewing world-class leaders, entrepreneurs, and I really thought that it was my forever career, to be honest. I was really passionate about what I did, and I worked my way up until it really hit me. I don't know whether it was interviewing all these entrepreneurs that I really planted the seeds for me, the entrepreneurial seeds. And I really felt that there was something so much more. And I had this little inner voice that was niggling inside, and it just got louder and louder. And I was really started questioning my work as a journalist and really feeling a yearning to do something more profound that had a bit of a deeper purpose. I start really not enjoying the 9 to 5. And just lots of little signs. I was working in a publishing company, but there were things that just didn't feel aligned at the time. But I tried to kind of push that away and just carry on because, it's like I had this vision. I saw myself as a really successful journalist. I just wanted to work my way up. And that was until I started hitting some inner roadblocks. And I started suffering actually from writer's block. And it wasn't until I found myself on this coaching course, I don't know whether I was unconsciously kind of looking for answers. And I saw this free coaching weekend, and it just triggered something inside me where I wanted to understand what was going on, because I knew that something was going on. I was suffering from a bit of writer's block, which I'd never had that before. I've always been highly creative and in my flow, and really start not being happy in my career. And I'm someone who's really passionate about what I do. And so I knew that I had to go to this workshop to understand what's going on with me, And I just had the biggest epiphany, totally unexpected, on this workshop. And it was the first time that they got us to, I think they did a meditation or something, and they called us to go deep within. And it was the first time I'd actually gone inward for answers. And I just experienced one of the biggest epiphanies I probably ever experienced up until that point in my life. And I just burst into tears because I realized how unhappy I was doing what I was doing, but I was in such tunnel vision, not even seeing what else was possible, kind of just making myself, kind of pushing myself forward on this career that I'd fallen out of love with, but I didn't want to admit that. And realizing, oh my God, coaching was something that it's always been something that I've been passionate about, like personal development. But also I could see like the timeline of my whole life. Like I had been in a way coaching people all my life. And it was something that was, I mean, it was just such like crystal clarity, like, oh my gosh, this is my purpose. It was like so clear. And I was in so much, it was a very painful place for me to be, because I think when you've got a lot of drive and you're very ambitious, and you need a direction to kind of pour it in. And for maybe about a year, I felt really stuck. So having that clarity, that big epiphany, made me realize, wow, I really want to help other people who are in a similar situation. So at that time, it was helping other people at a career crossroads, really tap into what's possible for them. But as I, started my business, and I think for many entrepreneurs or, people in business, when you first start, we can have a bit of a naive idea about how easy it can be. Just, get out there and set up a business, and clients are going to rush to you. And, I was definitely, full of positivity and thinking, yeah, I mean, I certainly had all the drive and enthusiasm. But what I noticed is that, when it came to start putting myself out there and being more visible and things like with marketing, and things like, really being confident in my prices, because, if you are looking at it from a business perspective, you've got to make sure that, what you're providing and what you're receiving for it is going to sustain you. And what I realized is that I was hitting up against these inner blocks. Specifically to do with probably visibility. I was fine on a kind of one-to-one, level, but I found that when it came to marketing, it was the visibility blocks and some other things that really led me to, again, go within, and look at what was holding me back. And it led me to, learning and training in some other modalities to really help me to start to shift and understand what this was about at a deeper level. And where I was getting stuck in my business, and it really inspired me to want to help so many other women, because this is such a common thing for women in business. And so it just really inspired me to want to help other women clear out these blocks, especially women with that vision, the big drive, but something's holding them back and blocking them. And because I had done so much inner work on myself, and I continuously do it, there's always that next level. It's something that I'm really passionate about helping other women overcome too.
Yes, I'm sure so many people can relate to that story, CHLOÉ. It's something that I think many of us go through. In fact, much more now today. I think COVID gave everyone a chance to breathe and really look at themselves and see, is this really what I want? But what I love that you said was your intuition. And I've actually vlogged on that your intuition is like your compass, and we don't honor it enough. But I'm glad that you followed it, because that was the thing that drove you. It's always like they say that if you don't pay attention to the signs the universe is giving you, it will smack you across the face and make you listen. Not that in your case it was, yeah, not in your case that it was that bad, but I mean, you said that you were this program and you just broke down, and I think it was because it was the revelation that, you're leaving behind a part of you that although we say we don't want to identify with our careers, we often do. Because like you, I've also had that kind of career where it was just part of who you were, your earnings, people looked up to you, you built your experience, and you said you were moving up. And it's like, really? I mean, so when you let go of that, it's like, well, that's a chapter. But when you're in the moment, it feels much grander than moving on to the next page. It's like, wow, this is huge. But what a great story. Thank you. And I could see where that would lead you to working with women, because we are very much more attuned to our intuition. That's just a given, much more than the male species. Not that that's a one or the other, but we do tend to have more intuition. And there's a scientific fact to that, but I can't think of it right now. Well, that being the case, when did you first realize then, and you spoke a little bit about this near the end, that your inner transformation was the missing link to achieving outer success? Because I'm thinking that when your first career, that was all the outer success. That was all, achieving the going up the ladder and honing in on your journalism. But now it's like your inner world. Give us some
Yeah.
insight into that.
Yeah. So even as a journalist, I think, cultivating the right mindset, was part of it. I've always been keen to develop my mindset, but I think sometimes you just hit up against these blocks where you just know that it's something deeper. And at the same time, actually, is when I went through my career transition. I mean, just talking about when the universe kind of smacks you around the face. There were so many other things in my life that started actually falling apart. It was like starting to dismantle, like my whole world as I kind of knew it started to dismantle. And it really just led me on that inward journey. And it's when you are hitting up against the set points, and especially when you've got a strong mindset, you've got the drive, what's going on? Like, why can't I break through? It can feel very frustrating, and it does make you go inward. And I think when I became a coach and the journey was starting to go inward, look for your clarity and your answers within. Now it's come second nature, but I trained as an NLP coach to and did a lot of work on changing my belief system. But it was through a chance meeting, actually. I met a lady who introduced me to EFT, and just out by chance. And again, it's the intuition that leads us to people. And we hit it off. And she suggested that we exchange a session. And oh my gosh, when I did that EFT session, it was incredible. It took me to depths that I've never been. And it was in that one session, and I basically got to the root of an issue that had been holding me back for so long in that one session that I just couldn't reach with coaching. And it was because it took me that so much deeper, and we worked with the subconscious, and it kind of shifted me on an emotional level, like even physically, just by tapping into that new level of awareness of what was holding me back. You can feel it physically, you can feel it energetically, emotionally. And I was like, I have to learn this. And so that kind of led me to learn more about EFT. And then I really started diving into, all limiting beliefs, and really looking at, oh my gosh, all the ways that I was holding myself back, all of these limiting beliefs that I had that I was totally unaware of. But once I started working with it, it's you just don't want to stop. You want to keep working through the different layers. I love to really go deep, on myself. I never stop kind of wanting to, because I love the sense of freedom and feeling unstoppable, and not wanting to feel limited. Like you, I always want to know, but why? Like, what is this? What is this? And yeah, holding me back. And it can be very painful, I think, for women sometimes, but where you feel that I just want to break through. And the more work I did on myself, the more I really wanted to help other women as well, not kind of hit the same set points that I did, that I felt at the beginning, kind of where I was struggling a little bit,
Yeah. So for our audience members that aren't familiar, EFT, what does that stand for?
So it stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it's a scientifically proven tool. So it's a combination of, it's like tapping on the acupressure points of your body whilst working through some deeper issues. So, it's a mix of modern psychology with the tapping on the acupressure points and working with the energy. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just an incredible tool that just enables you to just really dive into the root cause of whatever the issue is, and work through it and release any limiting beliefs or negative emotions very, very easily.
Right. Yes, I could see where that would, you're, excuse me, like me, if I find something that actually moves me or that teaches me something, I just want to share with everybody. And, I
Yes.
want to learn it, and then I want to share it, because you feel, I mean, I can feel the shifts that happened in you. It was so liberating. And like you said, you weren't
Yeah.
even aware they were there. And that's the thing, is that
Mm.
most of us have those, but we're not aware of them. And once it's like opening a door that's been pushing up against you, and then you just let the air in. It's like, excuse me, they say in what is it, the chi energy. I've worked with a lot of feng shui coaches here and interviewed them, and they said, open up your windows and your doors, because you've got to let the chi in. Well, that's almost like what you're doing
Mm.
with that program, is you're letting the chi in by opening that door, letting that bad energy go, and letting the good come in.
Yes,
I mean, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I could see that process just being so eye-opening. Well, what are some common signs then that you see in female entrepreneurs who are out of alignment with their
Mm.
business or their life? And do they usually realize that something needs to change? Or is that something where you
Mm.
have to actually ask some leading questions? How have you dealt with some of that?
So I think one of the first signs is when a woman is really not feeling happy, or, lost to the passion that, she was
Mm,
so passionate about before, and all of a sudden that it's like that inner fire has burnt out. Um, and the thing is, sometimes we can go round in circles but stay in that a little bit too long. But these are signs. It's how we feel, which is why,
mm,
it's so important to pay attention to how we feel. What are our emotions trying to tell us? Because it's showing us that something is out of alignment. It might be something really small, or it might be, something bigger, which is to take something in a new direction. But sometimes it's these small little adjustments that people just can't see, or understand kind of what's going on. Another sign is when you feel as though you're hitting against the set points. Maybe you're not getting the results in your business that you know that you're capable of, and
mm.
it feels like no matter what you're doing, it's just not happening. So often I mean, I'm a true believer, there's always a way to get what you want, or get to where you want to be. But it's finding the way that's most in alignment with you,
Mm, yes.
right? And
Yeah.
so these are sometimes even signs from the universe that maybe even, I don't know whether this is the wrong direction, or the universe is sometimes showing us when something's not working. Let's take a look at this. Let's dive in and explore what is going on at a
Mhm.
deeper level, because it's just feedback.
Right. Oh, I love that. It's feedback.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And alignment. Yes, our emotions are energy in motion. So, of course, and
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue into the question that I have here, energy alignment. Now, both
Mm.
you and I are fans of how energy works in the body, and you refer to energy alignment. For listeners who are new to the concept, what does it really mean to be energetically, excuse me, aligned with your goals? Like, is
Mm.
that a feeling, or is it a process?
Yeah.
Do you have a step by step? Just give us an insight into that.
Yeah. Well, actually, the first step that I will, take with any client that I work with is we will go inward. We tap into that deep inner vision, because often, a woman may come to me and, either she's not clear about what she wants, or she has an idea of, I want to get here, but it's not happening, or something like that. The one thing, the common thread, with every woman that comes to me, is either what she thought she wanted is not actually what she really wants. Often the goal
Mm,
is either so much smaller than what she's even allowed herself to tap into, which is why she's not passionate. It's not aligned with her, right? So when we go inward, we remove the mental, emotional overwhelm. We really tap into deep into her soul of what she truly desires deep in her heart, what excites her, makes her come alive. It's a vision that's either so much bigger, but sometimes um, it's just more meaningful. It's something that really resonates with her. So it shows her what she wants for her life as a whole. So it's never just about the business. It's about how it all fits with a lifestyle that really allows her to live as the most vibrant, authentic woman she truly is. And sometimes she hasn't allowed herself to truly be all of who she is. And so this is the work, but this is the starting point. It's tapping into that vision of herself that really is the most authentic, and looking, of where she is, where she wants to be. We do break that down. So we there is a structure that I take my clients on. We break it down and create a roadmap that's tailored to her. But that's when we start to work milestone by milestone, but also that's when we start to do the deep inner work, to start to strip away all the limiting beliefs that she has, either about herself, where she's playing small, or limiting beliefs that holding herself back from stepping up in a bigger way, being more visible, whatever that is for her. But it's about taking aligned action steps that truly are in alignment with who she is, rather than who she thinks she should be or anything else.
Yes, I love that. Aligned with who she truly is. And a lot of us, because like you and I and many individuals, especially as we get older, we've had other careers. I mean, even being a
Yeah.
mom is a full-time career job. It's the most important. But we lose our identity. That's what I believe. I mean,
Yeah.
we get lost in, like you said, you just kept moving through your job as a journalist,
Yeah.
pretending, I guess, that things were going to change and you would reconnect with your passion to do it. And you just kept the blinders on, and as many of us
Yes.
do. And so then when you come to that point where you're just like, no, something's wrong, it's almost like you have to start from square one. You have to clean the slate. It's like erasing a blackboard, because everything, I call it the static, is been infiltrating you, and there is no flow anymore. It's the
Yes.
static. It's like tuning into your radio. You cannot connect. And in order to do that, you need someone like yourself who walks you through and gets you back to the beginning. And we call, in one of the programs I'm certified in, which is VUCA, it's called Big Hairy BHAG, which is Big Hairy
Yeah.
Audacious Goals. And if your goals don't scare you, if they're not big
Yeah.
enough to scare you, then they're not big enough. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So, but that's it. Just dream beyond your wildest imagination. It doesn't have to make sense. The problem is that the brain tries to make sense of it. That's the reptilian brain, because it wants to keep us
Yes.
safe. But when we just let go of that and say, it doesn't matter if it makes sense, it doesn't matter if you think it could possibly happen, just tell me what that big dream of yours is. And let's get some fire moving inside you. And that's where we can start, right? It's
Yes.
kindling the
And the
fire.
thing,
Go ahead.
absolutely. And I think every woman wants to ignite that fire within, because that's our fuel. It's our passion. It's what ignites our creativity, and that's our drive. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful drive that makes us come alive, and create something beautiful in the world.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, we talk about energetic alignment. It always has to come from deep within. It's like deep from our soul point, in our heart. It's not thought up in our brains. And
No.
that's the disconnect. Sometimes we can get so caught up in, this is what I want, kind of ticking the boxes because it sounds good, but it's not energetically aligned. It's not, connected deeply with their hearts. And that's where we need to start.
Yeah. And you know when it's connected, because you feel it. That's the difference. What are you
Exactly.
feeling?
Yes.
If you're not feeling
Yes.
it, you got to go back, start over again.
That,
That's what I say.
yeah.
If you're not feeling it, we're going back. Okay, we got more work to do.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
you talk about people hitting their own set points in life and in business. Can you explain to us what that means and why it happens?
Yes. So we all have set points in every area of our life, but related to business, it often relates to, let's say, our the income ceiling, or how much we can earn in our business. Like, that's one of the most common ones. Even how visible we can be, how safe we feel to actually step up and shine. Like, we have set points around that. Set points around how confident and attractive or magnetic we can be. We have set points around all of this. And this often develops in our earliest years, in our early years, in childhood. This is where it's like we it's like our earliest paradigm, and it sets the tone. It's like the thermostat within. And when we go beyond that, about, beliefs around, that we can learn from the family, we can learn from our parents about what's acceptable to ask for as well and receive.
Yes.
So I do a lot of this work in my money mindset. When we look at money set points, and, a common issue that I see with women is working so hard for so little, right? And often this is learned, from their families, or something like this, that we have to work so hard, but they're not allowing themselves to receive. And so sometimes we have to go back and look at the times where, when for example, when we're little girls and we have big dreams, and it's like, I want this and I want that. And sometimes we're told no, 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 or made to feel wrong for asking for too much, or, guilty. It can be attached to all these different kinds of negative emotions. And that's when we start to limit ourselves, and start to pull ourselves back, limit our desires, or what we allow ourselves to receive. And so sometimes this is where we need to go. It's to start to rewire not just our mindset, it's our whole nervous system, because our nervous system actually reacts, and we can pull back. I don't know if you've ever had that, but I've certainly experienced that with how visible I can be. And so I used to find myself pulling myself back, and I knew this was a set point that I had to keep breaking through. um, and often it comes from, sometimes there are vows that we learn from our family as well. It's not all from our family, sometimes it's from society. So we,
Yes.
we internalize all of these beliefs, or we pick up these limiting beliefs from somewhere that often aren't even our own. So it's really important to look at, where am I getting stuck? What am I believing about myself? Like, even what's going on internally, like on an emotional level. Is it triggering fear? Is it, and sometimes it's that I just don't feel safe, but we want to explore that. And that's where I use EFT to kind of start to shift and work through that fear, so that women can start to feel comfortable. And it's about stretching the set point. It's not always just blasting through, but it's, let's stretch that set point, a little bit. Let's cultivate new beliefs. Let's support ourselves with a new belief system. Allow ourselves to reset the kind of emotional rewiring as well. Like, allow ourselves to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but get used to being more comfortable with being a little bit more visible, or allowing ourselves to receive more. And so we slowly build on that. It's a continuous stretching of the set points of whatever area where you feel stuck in, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it makes perfect sense. I love the receiving, because I've also been a yoga instructor, and the
Oh,
receiving is a really
yeah.
big part of learning the whole process of yoga and the mindset. Because we are really stuck in the non-receiving area, especially women, because we give so much. We
Yeah.
give, we're the tend and befriend. That's our DNA. And so it's more difficult for us to receive. But I love the perspective, because you're right. It's really about shifting how you see things. I did a vlog recently, and it reminded me of what you were saying about how these limiting beliefs and habits and judgments and opinions, they're not ours. They were given to us
Mm,
by our
mm,
parents, by culture, by society. So they
yeah.
flow into us up till the age of 7 at least. And so
Yes.
what I like to say is, let's look at them like, a new pair of shoes. They might look great on, but after a while they're painful. And so these
Yeah.
beliefs that you've been received since you were young, they might sound good, they might be what the right thing is to say, but
Mm,
they're not they're not comfort. They don't fit, they don't
yeah.
align with who you are. So it's time to take the new shoes off and put something on that fits. I mean, that's just a metaphor,
Yeah.
but it's really, like you said, these are all things that we've absorbed. They're not ours.
Yes.
And if when you put that in your mind, that these aren't mine, I can change them,
Mm.
so go ahead and change them. Yeah,
And there's
I
something
love that.
quite exciting about that. It's like we get to rewrite the rules. We get to to recreate the beliefs that we want to cultivate that make us feel good. And that's how we know these are in alignment with us, because it inspires us. We feel good. We want to take action.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's the awareness, absolutely. And like you said, I love your passion, because yes, that's the excitement. Once you let go, it's like watch the whole thing unroll and unfold before you. So speaking of
Yeah.
alignment, you've got, what does it mean to take a feminine soul aligned approach? I love this, to business, and how does it differ from traditional coaching?
Yes. So yeah, I take a feminine approach to business because I like to start from the inside out. We have such a rich internal world, and maybe it's because of my own journey, where this is where it all really started. It's from going within and really understanding myself at a deeper level, tapping into what truly was important for me, what really lights my soul, actually really connecting with myself at a very deep level, getting to know myself from the inside out. Um, exactly as you said, when I was working as a journalist, I was so wrapped up in that was my identity. And that was why I was clinging on to it. I didn't want to let it go, because I saw myself, my whole identity was wrapped up in being a journalist. So by letting it go, it's like, who am I? And I really
Mm-hmm.
went through that journey, letting it go. And I was left to ask myself, well, who am I now? And
Yes.
that was the beginning of my journey. And it was by going within. Honestly, it's such a rich and rewarding journey, as difficult as it can be sometimes, because you're reclaiming parts of yourself that you've lost along the way, where you've been following a path where, it wasn't even maybe really what you wanted. I mean, I did want to be a journalist, but, you do get caught up in, climbing the ladder of success, and you can lose yourself and what truly matters for you.
Mm-hmm.
So with a feminine approach, it really is tapping into that rich inner world and letting that guide you. So tapping into that vision that comes from deep within your soul. Now, I like to fuse it with, the more kind of masculine structures and the traditional, coaching or business approach. We need the structure, and we want to be productive and all of that, but it's got to flow from within. It's got to flow from that, igniting of that fire, that desire that is your fuel, that's going to help you take aligned action. And so it is being in tune with your intuition. It is about, starting your day in a way that really aligns with who you are as an individual,
Mm.
right? So I love to have these little morning rituals that, helping my clients really tap into what helps them really get in the zone, in their own essence, and take inspired action from there. Um,
Mm.
so that, whatever action we're taking, we're excited about it because there's something magnetic about it. So what I've certainly found is, when you are passionate and when you are in alignment, opportunities come to you. You attract
Yes.
so many more
Yes.
opportunities. It's so much easier, um, than kind of taking action and ticking it off, and sometimes forcing yourself, and it just doesn't flow. I mean, I started my business like that sometimes, and you force yourself, and it's then you're losing the joy. But when you find a different
Yes.
way, where you're in your flow, it's just so much easier. Your creativity, you download ideas, and often these are the best business ideas that are going to make you the best money, the most money,
Mm.
that people want. And
Yeah.
when you're excited about what you are offering, what you've created, you sell it so much more easily. Often, I tell my clients sometimes, what I've been working on or what I'm creating, and before I've even created a sales page, they want to know more. And it's because I'm so passionate
Mm.
about it that
Yes.
they want to find out. Um, so I think, I mean, that totally has worked for me. Really kind of getting back in touch with who I am, and the traditional business. I've worked with many business mentors, but this is the path that I found totally works for me. And I work with a lot of very driven, ambitious women who, maybe have been very much in their masculine. So when we take this different approach, they've seen completely different results. And
Mm.
the way that they show up is so different, and they can just, it's just an easier process. It's an easier way of doing business.
Right. It's
I,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. It's really, it's you're right. You become magnetic. I mean, enthusiasm is contagious. I always say we're all responsible for the energy we bring into a room. And rooms these days can be where we are on, like in Zoom or whatever, or in person. And I love the fact that you said begin your day with a morning ritual. Because my question was that how do you get, how is it that you get the clients to generally find out what they want? Just because a lot of them are disconnected with their passion. Right. And I think we might have explored some of that. But do you have like do you have a like for those listening, if they could walk away with maybe 3 points, like you said, a morning ritual? Because yes, we're, the energy, the passion. Do you have any suggestions there that we could put here so that someone could say, yes, that's great, I'm going to use that?
Yeah, so the best way, I think, to start every day is to really take that quiet moment for yourself. Really just tune in to, it depends where you are, whether you're in business or, wherever it is. But if you're feeling a little bit stuck or something, it's about going deep within. It might be asking yourself, what do I need right now? If you're feeling a little low or something like that, what is it that I really need in that moment? And give that to yourself. It might be that you've worked so hard that you actually need to take a break, because especially, if you're an ambitious person, you can really get caught up in the drive and all of that. But by taking that moment for yourself, really listening to what you need and giving it to yourself, all of a sudden it opens up. Number one, you'll go feel back into alignment. If you're giving yourself, what you need, you'll feel so much more whole again. But it opens up, your kind of crown chakra, your ability to receive your next step, your guidance, like what it is that you either need to do, or a new idea that you maybe hadn't thought of. We're just in that more receptive state. So that's a really simple way to start your day that I think just sets you up for success, for the rest of your day, whatever that may be, whether it's in business or not.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's the stillness. I love Rumi, and he always says, who you seek is seeking you. And therein lies the connection. Because you're right.
Yeah.
When we're in that state of alignment with the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, there synchronicities happen. Coincidences, no such thing.
Yeah.
Things start to come to you, like you said. You'll start speaking about something, and people want it already. When you found different programs that resonated with you and shifted some of your inner blocks, then suddenly things started to happen. I mean, it's not woo woo anymore. Science has proven this. And I know that, like you
Yeah.
said, the masculine way, because I've been in a very masculine industry, which was the stock brokerage business. And,
Oh,
that
right.
is
Yeah.
something where you're pushing and pushing, and it's always about the next sale. And it's very hard. Like, as Joe
Yeah.
Dispenza would say, you can muscle your way into that, but wouldn't it be better if you could learn to flow into it? And that's the alignment. That's the connection that we all want to find in starting your day with a ritual. Even if it's, I love movement, because movement
Oh,
moves the
yes.
body and the fascia. Our fascia is like our internet
Yeah.
connection. So we want to get our inner body connecting with itself. So whatever movements, it doesn't have to be an all out exercise thing, but just getting yourself and the blood flowing and the mind, but it's you, that's your time. And then maybe a favorite mantra or affirmation that starts your day off, and then you're like, okay, I'm good to go. And like you're blessed with knowing how to work those crystal bowls we talked earlier. But wow, or
Yeah.
just put on some music that has the megahertz and there's so much on that you can learn about what really resonates. There's music for healing, there's music for energy, there's music for, and I'm not talking about the popular tunes, which are great too. That can give you great energy. But whatever turns you
Yeah.
on, right? It's the switch.
Yes.
What you want to turn on the light, or you want to turn on the dimmer? Let's turn on the light
Yes.
today. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're tired of being in the
Definitely. Yeah.
dim. Yeah, right. So
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Well, your programs include self mastery and success and money mindset. What's the core belief every woman needs
Mm,
to attract abundance?
mm. I mean, one of the most common beliefs is you've got to know your worth. You really,
Mm,
it's all about really knowing that your wealth, honestly, your wealth is within you. And every woman within her carries a wealth of gifts, knowledge, creativity, passion,
mm,
experience. There is no limit to the wealth within you. And it makes me really sad when, you know, we can doubt that, when a woman
mm.
doubts her worth. Now, this is work that I continue to do as well, right? This is something that we all need to remind ourselves, but it's to tap into the wealth within. And that is where we start if we want to start to unlock. Because once you realize that everything that you need is within you and you operate from that belief, everything starts to shift. Obviously you take the action and we need to tap into our big vision and all of that. Right. But that is a real core belief for me that I think I would love for every woman on this
Mm,
planet to know her innate worth and
right.
wealth within.
I love that. I love that. It's you are more than enough. You are all.
Yeah.
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 That
Without doing anything, having anything, owning it. It's not about that. It's about
mm,
who you are exactly as you are right now in this moment.
right. Yes. Absolutely. That is such profound and needed advice. Chloe, thank you for that. Yes, that's a great takeaway. Know your worth.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to add that, sometimes women could come up with all these limiting ideas of what might get in the way of that.
Mm,
And I just want to say that whatever any woman has been through or overcome, that's what makes her even more like she's got even so much even more to give. you know
mm,
it's whatever a woman has gone through and experienced. That is what enhances her wealth within as well. There is, sometimes women can, may have been through difficult things, but it only adds to what you have to offer in the world and who you are.
right.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. Your it becomes it's not just your story, but it's your strength.
Yeah.
That's your strength. Yeah, because they say that everything is given to us for a reason.
Yeah.
Instead of asking why did this happen to me, it's what am I supposed to learn from this?
Absolutely. And I often feel, with so many women that I've worked, whatever we've all overcome, it leads us to our path. It leads us really to our purpose and, how we can be of, great service to others as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's there for sure. Well,
Yeah.
for women, and you might have just answered this question. If so, just say so. But for women who are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unaligned, what is one actionable step that they can take now to move towards clarity and alignment?
Yeah, I may have answered. I think the first step well, I mean, there are so many ways that you can do it because it is, I think every woman will be guided in a different way, from her intuition. But the first step that I would always recommend is take a moment for you. Take a
Mm,
space just for you, away from your busy schedule, away from anyone, demanding things from you. Like, have that space for yourself that you can really listen to what your inner world is calling for you. Because one thing that I've realized is that we're always clear. We may think we're unclear about something, feeling stuck, but that clarity is always within us. It's always there. It's just
mm,
removing all the mental noise and the emotional overwhelm that is, squashing that voice down. So it's reconnecting with that little voice. As well, journaling is a great process. Like, once you're in the zone, taking that time for yourself, just really reconnect with your soul. What, am I being called to either do, for myself, or which direction may I be called to move in. Sometimes that there'll be an idea, or it might be leading us to a book or a person or whatever, but it's the guidance is there, but we've just got to tap into, first of all, tune in with ourselves. It's just the disconnect sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we get disconnected. It's the world. It's life happens. But definitely, I
Yes.
love that you said the clarity is always within us. I had not heard that. And just believing that, knowing
Yeah.
that in itself is powerful, because a lot of times they say, well, there has never been any clarity and I don't know how to get it, like as if it's something you have to attain. But I love that you said
Yes.
it's in you. You just have to listen
Yes.
and be
Yeah.
still.
Well, I mean, I was
Yeah.
there myself. When I was at the
Mm-hmm.
crossroads, I just wasn't clear, and it wasn't until
Yeah.
I went within. And since becoming a coach, there has never been one woman who's come to me who has not been clear. She may think she's not clear, but after we go, deep within and really tap into what is it that she really wants, it's always there.
Right.
It's the limitations that make her believe she's not
Mm.
clear, because on some level she may not be allowing herself to want what she truly wants, but the clarity is there.
Mm. Yes, that's the key. You're not allowing. Just allow. Oh my
Mm.
gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Well, you have some special offers. Tell our audience about your exclusive offers. I'm sure they'd love to hear them.
Yes, and this is just for your listeners. So until the end of November, I'm offering 20% off my signature program. So that's to work one-on-one with me. So
Mm.
this is it's a bespoke 12-week program. We really get to tap into your unique vision, really dive into your, life and career as a whole, tap into what that vision is, create that roadmap for you, do the deep work to clear out all the inner blocks that are
Mm.
stopping you from either taking the aligned action, but also shedding any old beliefs that is holding you back from being really the most vibrant, incredible woman that you are already. So,
Right.
that's
Well,
my,
that's
yeah.
wonderful offer. Boy, I tell you, people should take advantage of that. This will set you up for the new year, just to
Yes.
delve into this and, start the new year with a new you and new goals and new vision. Yeah, what a perfect time for this to happen. Thank you, Chloe, for that offer. Well, what's
You're
one
welcome.
message? Oh, my pleasure. What is one message that you want women to hear to help them rise, align, and create their own epic story?
Mm. I think it's really knowing that whatever it is that you truly desire, it's possible.
Mm.
It's possible for you. It's allowing yourself to really reconnect with what it is that you truly desire. But it's not just possible, but it's meant for you. What is in your heart,
Mm.
it's meant for you. It's your call. The universe is calling you to, wake up to what's possible for you. And it's just allowing yourself to really receive that and believe it, and believe in yourself. Take that courageous step. Just that first step is what can just help to unlock the next step, and you'll receive the sign to then take the next step and the next step. But it's just believing and knowing that, yeah, whatever is in your heart truly is meant for you and it's possible for you. And to really
Yes.
just never give up on yourself and your dreams, because, that is the universe flowing through you. It wants to express itself through you. This is you living your highest, your highest vision is really just you living life to the fullest. And that's what we're meant to be here for, is to be the fullest expression of ourselves. And that's through what we
Yes.
do, that's through who we are, that's how we express ourselves. And so that's really how I love to, just to help women just to
Mm.
really tap into that and break through any limitation that makes them think that they have to settle, because you never have to settle. I don't want any woman to have to settle,
No.
I settled
Oh,
for way
no.
too long, and that's been part of my journey. It's breaking through and questioning, um, you know, where am I settling, and allowing yourself to receive so much more.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I love that. I love that question, by the way. Where am I settling? Sometimes you have to
Mm.
make yourself aware, right?
Oh,
And then when
yes.
you see that, yes, when you see that, you go, wow, I had no idea. I'm actually just
Yeah.
settling for that. But yes, your
Yeah.
destiny is meant for you. No one else can take it. You
Yes.
just
It
have
is
to
so
open the
meant for
door.
you. And so,
Hmm.
yes, take that. Just take that
Say
first
yes.
little step. Just say yes. Exactly. Say yes to yourself. Take that
Yeah.
step and just believe in it. And you don't need to the whole path, because I know that can be overwhelming, and that's where,
Hmm.
women can pull back in fear. You don't need to know the next step. It's just have faith in that one little step, and you'll be guided. And then that's how it unfolds.
And then CHLOE will guide you to the rest. Well, where's people can best connect with you? And we'll have all of this information available on our bio pages as well.
Yeah, so you can, connect with me on Instagram. It's CHLOE Gold Coach, or, LinkedIn and CHLOE Gold, or my website, chloegold.com, or directly to, email me, and I offer free clarity calls if anyone, is interested. And this is just if you want some clarity, with where you are, where you want to be, and what's holding you back, to really kind of like dive deeper and to find out more. That's what
Right.
I'd recommend. But yeah, I'm happy, just, reach out, connect. I would love to, connect with you. And, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Yeah, I would love
Wonderful.
to be of service. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, now because we're here on the Epic Vision Zone, CHLOE, I have one last question. If your
Mm-hmm.
life were an epic story, which I believe it is, what would the title be?
Oh, the, the first word that pops into my head was unstoppable.
Perfect.
I think that's my mission. I just want to break through any block that holds me back. I think because freedom is one of my number one values. And it's just, I hate feeling limited, and I just want to, enjoy the most of this life. And so, yeah, that word just popped down.
It's
And so,
absolutely perfect. Perfect. And it's, like you said, it was your intuition. It just popped right in. So that's
yeah,
perfect. Great. I love it.
thank
And that
you.
certainly does describe you for sure. Well, thank you again, CHLOE, for joining us here and sharing your light and your vision and your extraordinary work with women, and reminding us all that we do have so much within us, and all we need to do is connect with that to be unstoppable. So once again, for information and to connect with CHLOE, go to the Epic Vision Zone bio pages, where you will find all of her social media and direct contact information. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Jane Applegath, and look me up at janeapplegath.com. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Epic Vision Zone. Sending you so much love and gratitude. Until the next time, stay visionary, lead with love, and stay epic. This is the Epic Vision Zone, where bold ideas meet extraordinary leaders. Sending you much love and success.